Hi everyone, it's happened again. Another rear tire has failed on my Tesla Model S Plaid. It's the passenger side rear tire, same as last time, except this time it failed at 10,000 miles, whereas last time it lasted 18,000 miles. Let's take a look. This tire failed back in November when the temperatures were dropping. Noticed that my tire pressure light was on, so it had dropped about 4 psi. Went to inspect the tire and saw that it had opened up and it wore through the cords to where it was leaking air. Fortunately, I was able to get home. I was only about 5 miles away. I didn't notice the extent of it. All I saw was one little area at the time. So fortunately, it did not fail. I made it back home and was able to take off the tire and put my all seasons back on. With the Arachnids, I would check my tires about once a week, just looking underneath the car to see if I noticed anything funny. In this case, I let a couple of weeks go by. To be honest, I got complacent because with my all seasons, which now have 35,000 miles on them, I really don't have to think about it. So it's unfortunate I put these Arachnids back on and just really wasn't paying attention. Either way, I would not have expected them to fail at 10,000 miles, considering the original set went 18,000 miles before I'd experienced this type of failure. But my driving habits were different. I drive a lot more local miles now, whereas at the time, with my first tire failed, I was driving a lot more highway. So let's take a look at the other rear tire. You can see that this was also wearing on the inside edge. Not quite as rapidly as the other tire, but I think it would have gone there just looking at how much it has scrubbed. So this is really a public service announcement for folks who have the 21-inch Arachnids with the Michelin PS4S tires. Check your rear tires. Now really, to do a close inspection, you have to look at the inside edge. So not just looking at the tread from the back, it would be hard to see, but really to look at the inside edge and do a close inspection, especially if you go on a road trip. Check before you leave, just so you don't get stranded. Now Tesla is really good with towing the car and replacing the tire, but still, if you could avoid the hassle, avoid the hassle. Note that this tire that failed was a T1 tire. This was a replacement at the time when my first one failed. That's what they had available. Then a week later, had the rest of the tires changed out, and those were changed out with T2. I don't know if the T2s wear any differently than the T1s, but either way, just check your rear tires if you have the Arachnids. Now on my car now, I have the all seasons, which I've covered on this channel. These have, as I mentioned earlier, about 35,000 miles on them, actually a little more than 35,000 miles. The tread on these is about down to 530 seconds. So these will probably last another 5,000 miles. I anticipate getting 40,000 miles out of the set. The remaining tread depth is around 730 seconds on the inside. And yep, about 730 seconds on the outside as well. The front tires are measuring the same. At this point, I'm probably just gonna change out the rear tires, replacing both. As much as I like the all-season setup that's on the car, especially the look of the wheels, I do prefer the grip of the summer tires when it is warm outside. So I will be putting these wheels and tires back on at some point as it gets warmer. To mitigate this from happening again, I will be installing the Max Boost shims, which will push the camber out by 0.8 degrees. These get mounted on the upper control arm, or where the upper control arm mounts to the car. So it will push the upper control arm out just a little bit to get that 0.8 degrees. And I will get the alignment done after that. Well, if you have the 21-inch Arachnids, please check your tires, especially if you're past 6,000 miles. I haven't really heard of failures before 6,000 miles, so I think that's a good point to when you should start checking your tires regularly to look for failures. That is if you have the 21-inch Arachnids with the Michelin PS4S tires. I don't know if other people are experiencing problems with other tires other than the Michelin PS4S tires. I think it's just a soft compound, and the way the tire is designed, it just wears this way, unfortunately, on this car with the stock alignment settings. Now, with the all seasons that I have on, same car, same alignment specs, not experiencing it. So it is definitely a problem with the 4S tires on the 21-inch Arachnids. Well, I'd like to hear your experience. Are you experiencing tire failures on your Tesla Model S Plaid with the 21-inch Arachnids? Do you have any solutions? that you want to recommend to other Model S owners. So please leave them in the comment section. If you have any questions, I'd like to hear them. Please leave them in the comment section. Well, thanks for watching. Bye for now.